Hey, I want to congratulate you for opening up your business. You've got it going. You've chosen the format you want to do it in. Okay, deep breath. You did good. Now, the next part is how are you going to track your accounting? I will tell you that what our experience is in audits is that the number one failure is for clients having their records separate, having them balanced, and keeping receipts. So we're going to touch upon that today. The very first thing, you need to have a separate checking account for your business. I don't care if it's a corporation, well, corporation you have to. A partnership, if you have a sole proprietor, you need a separate checking account. In that business account, you put all the business income and you pay all the business expenses. Now, a lot of you are going to say, hey, Carol, I don't have enough money in my business account to pay my expenses. Well, I need to pay for them personally. What I want you to do is write a check from yourself to the business and call it a loan. This is a nice, simple way to track everything, and life is good. What we're trying to do is audit-proof you as we go along. And speaking of that, in an audit, they want to see the receipts. Yes, it's a tedious thing you have to do, but you have to keep every receipt for what you purchase. And you can understand why. If you go shopping at Walmart and you're picking up a bunch of paper, toner, what have you, I know it's business, you know it's business, but if you don't have the receipt, the IRS agent's going to say, Walmart, they bought clothing, they bought food, I'm disallowing it. Keep the receipt. Now, how do you keep them? Lots of different ways. Some of my clients will scan everything in and then create a file. There's something called Neat Receipt that we've had clients use pretty successfully. You scan it in, you categorize it, and it'll create an Excel worksheet. On the Excel worksheet, if you click on the receipt, actually an image of the receipt will pop up, and that has worked in audits. Some clients will keep them on paper. I'm a paper girl, I still do it that way. Kind of embarrassing to admit. And you can keep those one of two ways. You can have an accordion file that shows all 12 months, so everything you buy in January goes in the January slot, etc. Or you can have a separate folder per vendor. Either way works as long as you follow it and do it religiously. Very important. Again, most audits fail because of lack of receipts. Now, what do you do with all those receipts? So you've got the income, you've got the separate checking account, you've got your receipt folder. How do you keep track of your income and expenses? As I mentioned earlier, you can use Neat Receipt. Scan them in, creates an Excel spreadsheet, you're good to go. Another way is just doing Excel, where you list all the expenses. So you have one tab that lists all the income. You might want to put the date, how you were paid, credit card, check, and then who the vendor was and how much they paid you, or the customer. Another way, then the second sheet would be all your expenses. Date, how you paid, credit card, check, cash, who the vendor was, and then what category is the expense. You're going to set many columns up. Office supplies, contract labor, cell phone, etc. But you've got to track those. At the end of the year, you total them up, and life is good. Another common way is QuickBooks. I would probably say over 90% of our small business clients use QuickBooks. Very easy software, very reasonable software, and it's universal. So you buy QuickBooks, how do you do it? There's QuickBooks Online. The good news and the bad news with the QuickBooks Online is that you don't have an upfront cost. It's typically $10 to $30 a month depending on what you select. You don't have to do the backups and you don't have to update the software. Problem with it is that it's very slow and it doesn't have all the reporting features that QuickBooks on desktop has. And you keep paying for it forever. Our typical client, if they will buy the QuickBooks desktop. So they set it up on their computer and they use it from there. Now, for our clients, what we try to encourage them to do is to set up an account with QBox. So your QuickBooks desktop will actually be stored on the cloud, and it's in Cupertino, California. It's not all around the world with bad guys having access to it. And then you select who has access to it. So you would invite me, and then I could look at your file. We don't have to back it up and send it back and forth. We don't have to worry about the file getting corrupted. It's there. They do all the backups, so that part is not a concern for you. It's about $9 a month. It's not a big cost, but it is a cost, so you need to be aware of it. But you could be on vacation. If you have your laptop, you can log in and see what's going on with your books. Toward the year end in December, I could do a year-end review for you and make sure that everything's up to date and expected the way, or the numbers are where we expect them. Alright, so now you bought QuickBooks and you open it up and gosh, it looks really pretty. What do you do with it? We offer a QuickBooks setup with one of our staff accountants. The fee is $150, and what we would ask from you will be copies of your bank account for 2 or 3 months and your credit card, so we set up the categories for you So this way everything is done. You don't have to worry about setting it up properly. We also offer QuickBooks training. It can be done anywhere. We use Skype. And if you have the QBox, we can both be in your file at the same time. And then we can teach you how to use the software. Typically, if you know how to balance your checkbook, in an hour you'll be pretty well trained and you'll be able to run with it. And then we would schedule 2 half-hour follow-ups just to make sure you're using it correctly. The other good thing about this is you have someone who knows your books, so if we call them brain farts. You call up, you can't remember how to do something, you can call us up, and the person who did your training can help you answer that question. We offer a lot of additional services as well with QuickBooks and year-end planning. We're here to help.